Hey guys, this is Max here, back again with hopefully another great political video, and today we're talking about a state that is almost never on the radar for midterm or presidential elections, and I'm talking about Oregon. Now, usually we're never talking about the state because it is a very, very, very fucking Democratic state. It has not voted for a single Republican in a presidential election since 1984, which was Reagan's big landslide over Mondale. It has voted for every other Democrat, including Michael Dukakis. Now, what you see in front of you is the county map that I expect for the 2022 governor's race in Oregon. I think the Republicans are gonna pick up this seat, and I am not shitting you. Let's take a look at the polls. Polls that historically underestimate Republicans by a lot have this race leading in every single one of them, except for one where it is tied. And the reason for that is not because Oregon is going to have a long-term shift to the right. There's a very slim possibility for that. But there is a third-party candidate on the ballot. Now, probably this race would have been close either way, because the Republican is polling at around 40 to 45%, which is above the numbers that Donald Trump got in that state. But still, that is pretty impressive. And Johnson is running to the left of Kotek, which is a sign that there's still a number of principled progressives in a state like Oregon that would not vote for a Democrat just because it's the lesser evil, that view the Democrats and Republicans as evenly bad and therefore vote for the more left option, which will ultimately end up pulling down the Democrats. Now, either way, this is going to be very, very interesting to watch, and Oregon will probably be the surprise pickup of this election cycle. We had a surprise pickup for the Democrats in 2018 with Kansas. Nobody would have expected Kansas to elect a Democratic governor, especially one that was as liberal as Laura Kelly. And now we might have Oregon elect a pretty conservative Republican by the name of Drazen to the United States governorship. Let's go on the side of the poll. It says Drazen marches forward as Johnson crashes in New York governor poll, so Johnson is going down, and still the Republicans are up. That is very impressive. That was also on Wikipedia. Here we have that very clearly. We can see that despite the fact that that Johnson is going down, Drazen is still up. All right. Right now, he's down in the polling aggregate, but that's just because the most recent poll favored Democrats. I still think that Republicans are expected to win this race, but Democrats are going to bombard the airwaves with anti-Johnson ads saying that she's a spoiler, she's just trying to ruin this whole thing, and sorry, Christina's a she, that she's just trying to pull everybody down, that she's actually a closeted Republican who's just doing that to spoil the election, which is absolutely not true. But that's just the way it is in the United States when you're not a member of the top two parties. You're going to be under fire from at least one for spoiling the election and helping the other side win. Either way, this is by far the most interesting governor's election of this cycle. Apart from the New York election, maybe, because there might be a case where Lee Zeldin ends up winning. I'm not saying it's the most likely scenario, but there is a scenario where he does end up winning without a third-party challenger against an incumbent Democratic governor. Either way, this is going to be extremely interesting to watch. I already showed you my county prediction. I basically just hammered a few numbers into the election shuffler and then put up the counties the way how they would shift. Just so you can see it real quick, that's how Oregon voted in the 2020 presidential election. Now let's look at Oregon. Very clear. All these counties were blue in 2020, and now in 2022 for the governorship, they're going to turn all red. Now, I think the Republicans are going to win this race narrowly. Christine Drazen is going to be the next governor, and that's my prediction for this race, guys. Have a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. Max out.